And that's a part of like what the major slanders, the things that really originated from because when you consider all things already disclosed, and even the things confirmed and the things that been proven, that been going on the last 20 years all the way to now, on my personal life, on my life personally, what I'm saying, with no regards for age or anything, just boy. I mean, and that's pretty much what it boiled down to. It's just some influential figures knew from whatever I guess, where they originated at. They knew that whenever I found out about, this situation is, what's been happening to my life or what they've been doing for my life, all this time, which, they said influences were never shameless about letting me know. I mean, we're always shameless about letting me know that they were doing this to my entire life from like since I was born all the way to my to the end, so I mean, they ain't had no shame in letting me know that it was them doing it. And so I'm like, well, dang, okay, but I mean, but as for people that don't understand, some of the reasoning behind it, because everybody apparently, at some point in the last 7 years or 8 years, these slanders, smear campaigns, they put some heavy stuff on my name and things, and I ain't even know about it. And then I didn't know about it because it was so far from anything that, it was so far fetched, that a regular person wouldn't even consider the kind of thing they said. And the reason they said that was because they knew that whenever I found out about what been going on already for the last 20 years, then they knew that I would not want to be friends, what I'm saying? I would not want no types of association with them, for what they've, all the damage, the unrecoverable damage they've already, put on my life, legacy, my everything, since pretty much, I was born all the way to now. And so they knew in advance, you feel me? Because they knew what they had planned to do. They knew what they would be doing. And so that's how they was able to quote unquote predict the future about so much. You feel me? Because they was creating the future, if you think about it, quote unquote. You feel me? And so that was the thing. Like, I couldn't, you feel me? I mean, it's like, they knew that I wouldn't be interested, in connecting on any level, whenever I found out about what they did or what happened to, found out about this. So they went on and, preemptively dropped some heavy stuff on my name. And, so when they saw me like shining and, and really, really coming up, especially artistically and literarily, from my literature, things like that, they that's when they just reached, you feel me, out of turn, unprovoked, you feel me, and then start throwing all this stuff on my name and my legacy and things in advance because they wanted to be friends, they wanted some type of thing, connection. They see that I was being great aside from them, so I was being great without them doing anything for me, you feel me, and that was a problem for them because of what they had already, invested in my downfall before I ever start, coming up. And so that was weird. So it's the most, it's one of the greatest display of hating, in history. You feel me? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's like, I'm probably close to being like probably one of the most hated on people, like straight on, like textbook hated on, like, hated on, like in a, in tradition, like what, hated on, like straight up, like, the most hated on in history, bro, like really close to it, especially in, in society, in the country, because it's so wild like that, But that's what it was, that's what a lot of the heavy slanders and things. Certain people, certain people said certain things, but it was really them though, you feel me? Certain people was pushed up a position to say certain things from the position so it'd be more believable. You feel me? It was an elaborate ploy, an elaborate framing scam. You feel me? Absolutely merciless, cruel, heartless, and meant, for the utter death and destruction of an innocent person. You feel me? Because of what somebody, that coveted something that they had, wanted. You know what I'm saying? And what they had to lose by, the person just being great. And that's pretty much where it was. All the heaviest slanders, and because there was a lot of heavy stuff apparently was put on my name I ain't even know about. But I mean, that's the source of it, The The source is the same place that was torturing and destroying my life since '94. Feel me? I mean, because it would make no other sense, you know. Because I hadn't even heard of these other influences before that point, you know. And I didn't even know they had, you know, I didn't know I've been slandered till society told me that, you know. You feel me? So that you looking at the bigger picture of all this is weird, you know, because I didn't know I had been slandered until society told me that I had got slandered. And then, you know, to this extent. So, I mean, we never ever had any type of personal, interpersonal relation, you know, or like conversation for that matter, or anything, you know. It's just strange. You know, they normalized the concept. I mean, well, see, I've been Elijah since '94, so I mean, but yeah, man, that's a serious thing though, to put like heavy stuff on people's name, like, you know, not no regular slander, not no regular white lies, you know what I'm saying, not no little small lies or nothing like that, you know, but so like, you know, heavy stuff against a child, you know, that's impossible for a child. You know, just things, you know, just weird, you know, just stuff that made no sense. And then to have it acted on, you know, consistently all year, every year, violently, and, you know, without mercy. You feel me? Endless attempts, you know, unprovoked, you know, year round, 365. Regardless of whatever circumstances, you always like, you being like, you know, you being hunted, you know, without doing anything to bring that or deserve or anything, you know, no reason for it. And that's why I say the things I say, you know, it's from what I experienced. But yeah, that's the source, you know, of all, you know, the slanders and things that came. It was all pre-planned. From the same time when the permanent torture, you know, was initiated, you know, around ages 7 to 12 in my life. So it's just all around horrific persecution, you know, and it was meant to be permanent. And it was unprovoked.